What do you think would happen if we just made drugs legal? So I get pulled over by the police one day. So is the government for the people or against the people? What about the justice system? Are they there to help you or are they there to punish and destroy you? Do you live in a fair society? Is this the world you want to live in? Maybe there's a reason the world is always in conflict. Maybe it's deliberate. Alright, hi, welcome to the channel. My name's Eamon. Today we're going to talk about justice, the court system, and is this the world you want to live in? Is the government for the people or against the people? I've been for a ride and now I'm going to the Somerville Rats and Tatts bike show. No, it's a car show actually, but it's got bikes there. Hopefully there's a few good Harleys. So join me on this ride. Today we're going to talk about justice and a few other things. It's going to be a short video because it's sort of holiday time and I'm not quite hungover, but I'm pretty seedy. I've just discovered an alcoholic drink called amaretto. I hardly ever drink, but this is fantastic. I've only just discovered it, so I've bought about 50 bottles and I'm trying to go through them in a day or two.
Oh, I can't drink any more of that stuff.
Me neither. Come on, guys, just one little drink.
So I got pulled over by the highway patrol recently, and I'm not going to make this a video about traffic laws, which I think are ridiculous. It's going to be about justice overall. There's a justice system there to help you or to destroy you or to tax you. Because if I look up justice in the dictionary, it basically says it's along the lines of a system to uphold the law and punish those who break it. Now, is that the sort of society that you want to live in? Let me tell you a story about going to court. So I get pulled over by the police one day. Not so long ago, and of course, you know, there's two of them. They jump out of the car and they do their business. Now, one of them looked like the main guy. He was very professional, very polite, very unemotional, went through the motions, you know, did all the right things, filled out the forms, etc. There wasn't an evil bone in his body. It appeared that he was just doing his job, and he believed in his job, even though I would call him the enemy. He's just doing his job, no problem at all. His partner was giving me the evil eye. He had his hand on the butt of his firearm, leaning against his car, and he was just staring me down. Now, before you say, oh yeah, but you probably got a bad attitude, or you're dressed in a way that would alert them that you are some sort of heinous thug. No, I was actually in a very respectable car, had my children with me, etc. For any normal man, this could be intimidating, but I'm not intimidated by the police. So after a while, I got sick of him staring at me. And if you know me, you know that I can read your mind. And he was thinking, Eamon, I hate you. I want to kill you. You are a... insert your own favourite bad words. Right, so he was thinking this. So I thought, I'm going to call him out. So I looked him in the eye and I said, what the are you staring at? Now, of course, this didn't go down well, and here are two grown men getting angry at each other, and the situation started to escalate. And as you can guess, the situation went downhill rapidly. He told me I had a bad attitude. I asked him what I had done to display such a bad attitude, etc., etc., etc. This went on for some time. What was really interesting was his partner didn't bat an eyelid. You would think that, you know, a big, supposedly aggressive guy like me stepping forward towards this policeman and saying, what the F are you staring at? You would think his partner would get worried and move himself into a position where it would be safer for the both of them. But no, his partner, the main policeman who was doing the chastising of the naughty boy,
He's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy.
He didn't bat an eyelid. He didn't even look at this partner of his. He didn't change his demeanour or his manner in any way. He just kept going with what he was doing. In fact, during this heated conversation between myself and Mr. Death Stare, at some stages he even walked away and started doing other things. I could tell straight away that the person I was dealing with was known to do this, and it's most likely that his partner, the main policeman, wasn't too happy with him. So that actually got me thinking, he doesn't even like his partner because his partner is being obnoxious, and he knows he's working with a, starts with F and ends in wit. Anyway, the situation diffused itself, and eventually I ended up going to court. So let's talk about the justice system, because while I was waiting at court, it was quite interesting. I'm sitting in the lobby, you know, the area that sort of feeds, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 courtrooms, and everybody there looked either emotionally distraught, financially distraught, just in need of help. I was the only, I put on my best, you know, investment banker mafia suit. I was the only person besides lawyers that was wearing a suit. If you look around, it looked like, I was quite amazed actually. Nobody had made an effort and everybody looked like they needed help, not punishment. So let me know in the comments, are you happy with our system of punishment?
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that.
Rightio, we're at the Rats and Tatts show, I think it's called that, in Somerville, bike and car show, mainly cars. Some absolutely fantastic cars and bikes here today. Beautiful sunny day, last day of the year. Let's get into it. Ooh, the Statesman, look at this.
Rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared I walk a straight path. Not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb. I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I won't get back up. Because I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Right, let's have a look at some twin CVOs. These must be brothers or sisters.
It's your chance to be ruthless.
Do you think our system of punishment for a crime works? Or do you think that we would be better off having a system that helps people? And the reason I say this is, when I was at court the other day, everybody that was there looked like they needed help, not punishment. Yes, they've done the wrong thing, but we could debate that some of the laws are pathetic. This was the magistrate court that I went to, so you know, you're seeing some, you're not seeing anything serious, you're seeing basic laws. And I was sitting at the back of the court with my lawyer and I'm watching the cases that are being presented to the magistrate. I'll give you a good example. One particular gentleman that stuck in my mind, he was a very dishevelled looking guy. He was in his 50s. He didn't have a suit on. He looked like he was, you know, going to work at a construction site after his court case. And he'd been caught previously or originally by the police for either drink driving or driving under the influence of drugs. And fair enough, you know, they've taken him off the road. Now, he's lost his licence and he's copped a penalty for that. And then he's jumped back in his car at some further stage and he's driven and he has been caught again. Hence the appearance at court. Now I'm watching this guy. The guy didn't have a lawyer. A lawyer is going to cost you at least $1,000, maybe even $2,000-$3,000 to turn up. He looked like he couldn't afford it, you know. And the magistrates asked him his circumstances. He said he's a single dad with 3 children. He works sporadically on construction sites to get money, you know, on a casual basis, and he needs his car obviously to get to work. At the end of the day, the magistrate gives him a further fine and a further loss of licence. Now, that's obviously going to make his life a lot harder. Do you think that's fair? Is that the type of society you want to live in? Or do you want to live in a more just society where perhaps the police, you know, catch him, take him off the road, take him home and find him help? Because people who write themselves off with drugs or alcohol, they are trying to mask emotional pain and they're trying to block that pain out. What sort of a society do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a society that looks at that person and says, ha ha ha, you can't cope, we're going to make your life even harder, we're going to give you a bigger fine, we're going to create more drama in your life? Or do you want to live in a society? So what about if he gets caught drink driving or drug driving and the police actually stop him, which is a good thing because, you know, the police are there for the community's safety. So whether you like the police or not, you know, they are necessary and they are supposed to be looking after the community and creating a safe environment. So what if the police pull this gentleman over and they say, listen buddy, you've had too much to drink or you're stoned or whatever the case may be. You are going to sit here, you're not going to drive your car, we're going to get you a taxi, which you're going to pay for, of course, and we're going to take you home. Have you got someone at the other end that will look after you? No, sir, I live by myself. Great, can we call a relative for you? You get the point, right? Why do we live in a system of punishment? Do you think that punishing people for committing indiscretions is the right thing to do? I guarantee you there are different types of people. I don't know the percentage of people that will fold under punishment, but I guarantee you, because I know many, there are many people that under the threat of punishment or after being punished will just double down and do things that are worse. So seriously, people who don't have compassion for other human beings, shame on you. So let me know in the comments, what sort of a society do you want to live in? Do you think that the current system of punishing people works? Or do you think we should move to a better system? Hasn't the family court created a disaster in the Western world, a disaster against men? Haven't the traffic laws created havoc with people's lives? If the speed limit is 60 kilometres an hour and somebody does 64 kilometres an hour in a 60 zone repeatedly, they deserve to lose their driver's licence? I mean, fair income. Idiots say that you don't have a right to drive for transport. They say that it's a privilege. Well, if you're thinking that, seriously, I'm calling you out as an idiot. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with that. I mean, seriously, don't people see that it's taxation? Let me know in the comments. Is it taxation or is it a voluntary tax? Because a lot of people will say, and I'm going to criticise you, that's you, if you say this, a lot of people will say, well, if the speed limit's 60, it's a voluntary tax. Don't do 61. There's an expression that says society, as your consciousness increases, so does your ability to see the nuances of life. Now, personally, I don't take drugs. I don't believe that they're good for you, you know, and I'm right into health, etc. But what would happen if we actually made drugs legal? In fact, the government could cultivate those drugs or manufacture those drugs, collect a taxation on them because they, you know, tax everything else except for breathing, which is coming soon. Surely all of the money spent on law enforcement could be channeled into something better. Like, surely it would almost eliminate the need for police, because most crimes come from problems. In fact, people are always saying, oh, crime comes from poverty. No, it doesn't. It comes from the difference in poverty. So a drug dealer who is looking to make extra money is looking to make extra money because he sees that there is a difference in what he can do with his life and that other people can do with their life. Now, before you say, yeah, but you just got to work harder, I call BS, because some people have sensational opportunities, contacts, and in-place resources that put them in a universe that is completely different to us. Some people have an education that allows them to make an enormous amount of money from other people. Now, this isn't necessarily bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying there is inequality, because not everyone is equal. People like to say they are, but that's bullshit. Some people are much more intelligent than others. Some people have enormous opportunities compared to other people. Some people have systems and resources that have been in place for generations, and they're far beyond the capacity of the average person. So, you know, people with a spark in their eye look at these people who are extremely wealthy and can afford other things, and then they look at their own life that says, well, I have to work in a factory, and they commit crime to make up the difference because that's the only way they know how. Now, if you agree with that, let me know in the comments. If you think I am full of BS, right now, type BS in the comments. Now, should we call the justice system or the misery system? Because really that's all I'm seeing. I'm seeing a justice system that creates a lot of misery for people. Now, I don't mean across the board, because there are circumstances where people need to be taken away from society because they are a danger to society. But generally speaking, most of the small-time actions against the law are created by people that are in distress. There are tens of thousands of people who help others with emotional conflict and lead people to resolutions in arguments, heal them of trauma, help them with depression and anxiety, etc. There are absolutely tens of thousands of these people, some of them better than others, but certainly there are squillions of them who are extremely competent in solving the world's problems. So why is the world like this? Why are there wars everywhere? Why are there arguments everywhere? And why do we live in a society that has a system based on punishment? Because I know for a fact not everybody will respond to punishment the way the system has designed it to be. Some people will cower and crumble and their spirit will be broken, but other people will say, F you, and continue on and do worse. Maybe it's deliberate. Maybe the system is designed to create misery. Maybe there's an incentive for someone or something in regard to human negative emotion, because it seems to be everywhere.